Hi guys, today we are discussing three BECE or WASSCE examination tricks. We are discussing three BECE or WASSCE examination tricks that make students produce surprising results or grades. Now, like you know already, I'm Samuel Arku-Laryea, the founder of Easy WASSCE online remedial school. Now, without wasting much time, I've actually done this video because my boy is part of the guys that are taking their exam this trip, and when we're discussing how we are prepared for the examination, some of these points came up, and I thought that it could also be useful to you. Now, point number one, we are saying that be on time and know what you need to bring. So when you are going to any examination, especially your BECE or your SSCE examination, you will want to know what exactly you are needed for each what you need for each subject, so that if it is mathematics and you need a mathematical set with your rulers and so on in there, you want to make sure that all these items are set and they are in good shape before you get to the examination. And don't forget to take them along. For those of you, depending on what you're doing, maybe you need a drawing board and so on. Make sure, if you need a calculator for a particular examination, make sure you have them. Now, we're saying that if you put in a lot of time preparing for your examination, don't waste it all by showing up late or without a required item to the examination center. So you want to show up at the examination center at least 15 minutes before the time, so that you are settled and you are relaxed before the exams itself starts. Point number two, we say for private candidates who are taking either the BECE or the SSCE, you have to make sure you have the approved means of identification. You may have to confirm a couple of days before the examination date, so that if you are taking the exam as a WASSCE private candidate, that is the end of deck, or for BECE candidate, you want to make sure that the form of identification that is approved by either WAEC or by the WASSCE, you make sure that you have that exact identification secured somewhere and you take it along with you to the examination center, so that few minutes before the exam starts, you don't know where your ID is and you cannot be able to join the examination. That will rather be unfortunate. So to avoid this mistake, you have to carry your ID and confirm a couple of days before the exam date itself. Now, the next point is that do not bring a lot of books or things that are not directly relevant to the exams. Do not bring a lot of books or things that are not directly relevant to the exams. One reference material may be enough, if necessary, to keep you focused. So if you need to be focused with the exams that you are going to take, make sure you don't take a lot of books that you don't need. Don't take a lot of things that you actually don't need for the exam. You have to take, if it is a book that you want to read in between the exams and so on and so forth, make sure you take only that. And it should make you relax and remember those things that you have learned, or to ponder over those things that you have learned. Now, the next point is that you need to be kind to the invigilators or the exam administrators. Now, if you create unnecessary tension between yourself and the exam administrators or the invigilators, you will find out that that tension is going to hinder you starting your exam smoothly. You understand? So make sure you don't create unnecessary tension between yourself and the exam administrators, aka the invigilators. So that is going to actually help you to settle down well before the examination. Point number two, say remember that you don't have to know everything on the exam paper, and that is fine. This is the reason why you don't have to know everything on the exam paper. 99.9% of brilliant students who passed their BECE or WASSCE did not have to know the answer to all the questions in the exam. Relatively, they may know a little more than the average student. So it's equally fine and no crime that you also would not know answers to all the questions on the exam paper. What I'm trying to say here is that, look, you don't need to know the answers to all the questions on the exam paper. You only need to know some of them and know them well. And I'm going to discuss what I mean by that in the next few points that we have. Now, under this, we also say when you don't know all the questions, or sorry, the answers to these questions. So then, how do you pass your BECE or your WASSCE, irrespective of the fact that you are brilliant or not? This leads us to point number 3, or trick number 3, straight away. We say relax, slow down, and check your strength with each question. Relax, slow down, and check your strength with each question. Now, slowly, if you have put in a lot of work, beforehand, take a deep breath and relax. Yes, before the exam, take a deep breath and relax before you start. Slow down and don't read things quickly. It's easy to be influenced by the clock. Don't let it affect your comprehension or understanding of what you are reading. When you read questions and answers too quickly, you are more likely to miss something or misinterpret the meaning. Remember, the exam is not a race. There are no bonus points for finishing first. Remember this very, very, very well. We are saying that relax and slow down as you read the various questions, because if you allow yourself to be influenced by the clock, the tendency that you may run over questions without appreciating exactly what they mean or comprehend exactly what they mean, you may equally answer them wrongly because you are misinterpreting the essence of the question. So in order for you to avoid that, we are going to the next point, and then you understand we are still on trick number 3. We are only talking about 3 tricks that makes WASSCE candidate or a BECE candidate get the results that surprises everybody. All right, so without wasting my time, we continue again. So we say, remember, the exam is not a race. There are no bonus points for people that finish their questions first. So you will not want to rush into making those mistakes. The next thing you need to note under point number 3 or trick number 3 is now check each question number and its sub questions. Which of them can you answer the most of or all of the sub questions? Choose the one you are most likely to answer correctly all its questions, and not the first one you chance upon. This also applies to objective questions or section A as popular among students. Skip those you find a little challenging or unsure. You can revisit them after you are done with the easy ones. Now, a recap of this point again, because it is very, very crucial. Now, I'm saying that now you check each question number and its sub-questions. Which of them can you answer the most or all of the sub-questions? Choose the one you are most likely to answer all correctly, the questions that are posed, and not the first one you chance upon. This applies, like I said, to objective questions, or the section A as most students want to call it, or sometimes it is also written on the paper. Skip those you find a little challenging or unsure. You can revisit them after you are done with the easy ones. Finally, under point number 3, or the third trick, remember to check your work again. Remember to check your work again. Do a little proofreading for common mistakes and errors like wrong punctuations, diction or choice of words, or misinterpretation of questions. You surely cannot fail your BECE or WASSCE if you apply these tricks properly. Certainly your results or grades will surprise you first before others. Gentlemen, now we come to the end of the third trick. So we have discussed effectively the 3 tricks that enables students that are taking their BECE or WASSCE pass with results that surprise themselves and all the others around them. Hey, so if this is useful or you find it helpful to you, then I invite you to ask me any question you have, because I'm putting in place special training for people who would be taking their BECE or SSCE now and the next academic year. So I can include your questions and concern for you to have the best experience with the training. Now, if you contribute your comments or questions below this video, I will give you a huge discount for the training. So please take some time and ask me any question you may have about WASSCE below this video. I will really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you when the class begins. Thank you.